Hello Burn Youth and welcome to another episode of YTV. So today we're doing something a little bit different. We are interviewing you guys, the boys, the girls, the teenagers. We want to know what you guys think about the theme of one another. We're talking friends, we're talking family, we're talking teens, we're talking relationships. All that and more in this episode of YTV.
Say that without causing any sort of controversy.
Well, I've got a lot.
Oh, got a couple. Probably either Jerry or, Jerry, probably.
My best mates are Isaac Tang and Jessica Fay.
Probably someone who's just nice to you all the time, because you don't want someone to be nasty to you or anything.
Loyalty and being there when you're down and just being there for you when you need them and knowing you've got each other's back.
There was this one time at school where I didn't really have anyone around me, and I didn't really have any friends at school, but it was really good to have people back at church and youth to really depend on.
Probably after I left my old school, because that was not many people talked to me after that. So that was probably, when I had the least amount of friends.
I personally do not recommend. It says so many times in the Bible that we are supposed to live life together and to love each other, and I think that's important and is an important part of our Christian journey.
One thing that I really like to say is if you had to go by yourself with just you and Jesus, if you were stuck with you and you knew Jesus and you were stuck on a desert island or something, ultimately that should be enough. But ultimately Jesus is enough for us, and everything else that we get from him, including our friends, is just a blessing from him.
Have you ever hurt anyone's feelings?
Yeah, definitely. Everyone has. Everyone says something that they don't mean, and everyone says something that just comes out when you don't mean it to come out. But everyone's always hurt someone's feelings. You just got to apologize and make sure they're okay after.
It's a bit of a loaded question. I mean, I like to hang around with people, and I like to think that I'm kind of a nice person, so I would say yes, but that's really more of my friends to judge.
What do you think about that?
I think that basically just means that you're stronger with your friends rather than without.
Yeah, so I reckon as kind of really interesting about that is that it kind of really talks about the people that you're around, and I think that ultimately you should surround yourself with people who are going to push you forward in some way, ultimately pushing you forward to knowing Christ more and being more like Christ. And as iron sharpens iron, kind of when we make mistakes or when we stuff up, those friends are there to help us just to grow, just to become stronger. And also in another way, kind of when we feel broken, that's when our friends can also help us to reharden ourselves and just to move on through life.
Well, that was pretty amazing, but a couple more things before we wrap up this episode. First of all, next Friday night at Burn Youth, you guys get to ask the leaders whatever questions you want. That's right, we're doing the panel. So the leaders are gonna get up on the stage, you guys are gonna do a little Q&A with them, you get to grill them, you get to pick at their brains. Any questions you want, ask us. That's next Friday night, 6:30 to 9 p.m. at Youth. And one last thing, Hubs is on this Sunday. Boys, we're hanging out at Joel Steenbergen's house, classic Bible study, PlayStation, good times. Girls, you're hanging out at Rhiannon McKenzie's place. You're gonna have a cute little time. You're gonna have an amazing time. I wanna see all of you there. Hubs is the best thing about youth. It is the number one thing about youth. But that's enough from me. Have a great weekend. Have a nice life. And God bless.